We got a game 7 in this NHL playoffs. Finally. I love it. You know what I mean? I love to see game 7s. The Islanders beat the Lightning 3-2 in overtime. Mario Anthony Beauvillier had that nice shot in overtime. I think it was like a minute and 30 in, and it was the only shot in that overtime. So it was a pretty quick one, too. Um, but yeah, Mario, I think I owe Barry Trotz an apology, because he did say they're motivated after that 8-0 loss. And yeah, I'm sorry. But anyway, let's get to the stats. I'll start off with the Islanders. Anthony Beauvillier had himself a goal. Like I mentioned, that was the overtime goal. Jordan Eberle and Scott Mayfield also had goals. Matthew Barzal, Mario, they had 2 assists. And Andy Green and Adam Pellich both had 1 assist each. And Semyon Balmont, Mario, he had a great game again. He had 22 saves out of the 24 shots made by the Islanders, which is a save percentage of 917. I'll go with the Lightning. Braden Point had a goal and assist. And by the way, that one goal marked his 14th goal of the entire playoffs. So he's done a really good job, Mario, like we expect out of him. Anthony Cirelli had a goal and an assist, and Andre Palat also had his assist. On Andre Vasilevsky, Mario, he saved 25 out of 28, which is a save percentage of 893. Now, let me go to the box stats, okay? The Lightning had 24 shots on goals. The Islanders had 28, right? Face-off percentage, the Lightning at 41.7, the Islanders at 58.3. Power play wise, the Lightning had 0 out of 2, and the Islanders had 0 out of 3. Penalty minutes, the Lightning had 8, Islanders at 6. Hits wise, the Lightning at 25, and the Islanders at 34. Blocks wise, the Lightning had 19, and Islanders at 13. Giveaways, the Lightning had 13, the Islanders at 10. And takeaways, the Lightning had 6, and the Islanders had 3. Excuse me. So overall, Mario, this was a pretty neck to neck game. And there's one thing about the Lightning that I gotta say, they blew this lead. They were up 2-0 going into the second period. Then the Islanders scored. All right, fine. You can't always expect a shutout in the playoffs, right? But then they tied it in the third. Boom. All the Islanders needed was a minute and 30 seconds in overtime. That was it. That's all they needed. They didn't need a second overtime. They didn't need a third one. All they needed was a minute and 30 seconds, and that was the end of the game. So basically, Mario, this was a neck-to-neck game. It really all came down to what was going to happen in overtime. But the Lightning, I remember they did blow that lead. So now it's game 7. It's going to Tampa Bay. I believe game 7 will be on Friday. Yeah, it's going to be on Friday, 8 p.m. on the NBC Sports Network. So make sure you go check that out. But yeah, Mario. Overall, I look at it. This was more of a defensive game, if anything. It wasn't a high-scoring game. But I look at it, and there's still some flaws. Both teams aren't making power plays. But then again, neither is the other two teams, the Canadians and the Golden Knights. I haven't seen a lot of power plays at all in this Stanley Cup semifinals. I haven't. I've probably seen like 1 or 2, and that's it. Well, yesterday the Lightning had 3. The other day the Lightning had 3 of them. That's just because they won 8-0. But yeah, other than that, if it's not a ball, I have not seen a lot of power play goals. That's just something that's been lacking a lot for all 4 teams, not just one of them, but for all of them that are in the playoff, that are left in the playoffs. Giveaways, both teams had quite a lot, so that's another flaw that I look at. And other than that, Mario, I look at the Islanders, and they did a pretty good job of capitalizing. They took the opportunity and they ran with it. That's what they had to do. Their season was like next to crumbled after they lost that 8-0. And I even said it, you better hope you come back from that, because some teams just don't recover from an 8-0 loss in hockey. In hockey, that's a big score. You know what I mean? We look at football, like 60-0 is a big score. You look at baseball, 15-0 is a big score, but in hockey, you don't see that a lot. You don't see an 8-0 score in hockey that often. So for that to happen, it's a pretty high scoring game. You know what I mean? So, but I'm glad the Islanders didn't take that to heart. I'm glad they were motivated by that, and they did what they had to do to win. Now, go to the Lightning, you got to protect yourselves. Game 7 for both teams is all about protection and capitalizing on opportunities. This game is a go big or go home for both sides, not just one side, but for both. This is game 7. Those are the 2 greatest words in sports. So both teams need to protect. They gotta be prepared to protect themselves. They gotta be prepared to capitalize on the opportunities given to them and just play some good hockey. That's the best thing I can say. So with that being said, overall, Mario, I look at this again. Both teams need to work on power plays. That's just that. They haven't really, aside from game 5, Mario, they haven't really been that great at power plays. giveaways. They got to stop giving the puck away. This isn't Christmas time. And going to the Lightning, they just got to be better. This next team, they got to be better offensively. They had their foot on the gas, and after they scored in the first period, in the second period, the Islanders, the Lightning just let their foot off the gas. So they got to be better. They got to keep that foot on the gas, and that's that. So, with that being said, best of luck to both teams. Again, Game 7 is on Friday night, 8 p.m. on the NBC Sports Network. It's going to be in Tampa Bay, so make sure to go check that out. We'll see what happens come Game 7.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nate. First of all, I'll point to one. I'll point to one factor in this game that I think did hurt the Lightning, and the fact that Nikita Kucherov did not play. He is hurt, so he did not
Yeah, they
play
don't.
game.
Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention. Did his status is doubtful in Game 7, so that's another thing the Islanders can take advantage of.
Right, so they got again, but they do have a very good team regardless of Kucherov. But the problem is Kucherov is so good at distributing that puck. Like we talked about it, he has over 20 assists in these playoffs. So without his presence, it really is affecting that team without a doubt. But again, we always talk about it, it's next man up, and Braden Point's doing absolutely an amazing job. Same thing with the guys like Stamkos and Victor Hedman. But the one thing that the New York Islanders are doing so well is they're not letting these heads of the monster get involved. I said it millions of times. Besides game 5 where you lost 8-0, besides that, game 6 you came back in and you did exactly what been doing this whole entire series. Now look, game 7, I'm going to be honest, it could be anybody's series. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lightning win, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Islanders won, because both of them have been playing defensively great. Matt Barzal has been on a roll. You look at the whole team itself. You look at Jordan Eberle; he's been doing a great job as well. So overall, both teams have been doing great. And defensively, the Islanders have been doing what they needed to do to stop the Tampa Bay Lightning from doing what they've been doing to the other two teams in the Hurricanes and the Panthers. Because I'm telling you, as long as you stop that big three, that big four, as long as you slow them down, you can beat them. I'm gonna say it a million times, and the Islanders are doing it. They're doing exactly what they need to do to win. And game 7, it doesn't change. You have to go in there and you got to do what you need to do in order to win game 7 and go to the Stanley Cup Finals. Look, I'm expecting a great game 7. I am. If Barry Trotz learned from game 5, I do not expect that. I do not expect a blowout like that to happen again. I expect a great game 7. And I think I'm going to get one too, because overall, this series, Nate, has been more defensive than offensive. Again, besides game 5, it's been more defensive than offensive. But look, if I'm the Tampa Bay Lightning, you can't let go. You can't let go of a 2-0 lead like that. They ended up scoring the second goal in the second period, and not too long after, the Islanders ended up scoring their first goal. And then next thing you know, the second goal came, and then overtime, the Islanders won. You can't let them come back like that. Now, again, it's going to be very tough for the Lightning to win without Kucherov. I'm going to be real. I think it's going to be very tough for them to win without Kucherov. But even when Kucherov was there, they still weren't. Again, it was still 3-2 games. It was still defensive games. So overall, the Lightning, I'm going to be real. They're not going to win this. They're not going to win game 7 off of their offense. I'm going to be honest with you, Nate. It's going to be through that defense. The Lightning's defense needs to step up, and they need to do it, and they need to play better than what they did this game. And I'm not saying they did bad defensively. They did good, but you need to play better defensively. It's as simple as that. Because even though you do still have Hedman, you still have Stamkos, you still have Braden Point, offensively, I just don't think it's going to cut it. Because overall, that's one less guy that the Islanders now have to worry about. Because the Islanders were doing fine when Kucherov was even on the ice. Now him off the ice, it makes their job a lot easier. If I'm the Islanders, this is your one chance to capitalize right here. Let's just suppose Kucherov does not play. Okay, the Islanders need to take advantage of that. This is game 7 without Kucherov. Kucherov is their number 1 distributor. Since he's not there, you need to take advantage of that. So the Islanders need to have the best offensive game that they can have, and they still need to play like they do defensively. Defensively, I have no problem with what the Islanders been doing. Consistently, besides game 5, they've been playing exactly the way they need to play. It's as simple as that. Probably, game 5 and game 2. Game 2 was a little bit off defensively, but overall, I expect a defensive game from both teams. And whichever team plays the best defense, that's the team that's going to win, in my opinion. I don't think there's really going to be a lot of offense. I think whichever team whichever team plays better defensively will win. It's as simple as that. So you know what? With that being said, best of luck to both teams in Game 7. Game 7 is going to be in Tampa Bay. I believe that's going to be tomorrow, correct?
Friday.
Friday. Yeah, tomorrow. Today's Thursday.
It is. Oh, it is Thursday. My bad.
It's going to be on Friday. Make sure you guys go check that out. And with that being said, best of luck to both teams. It's going to be a good game.